Hey, I can get a feeling from a distance, turning to be so slowly. There's nothing said. I must listen to my heart to feel you right. Don't be so afraid. Hey, hey, there's nothing bad. Where have you been on Sunday? Where have you been on Monday? As I need so much to hear from you again. My heart feels a little tired when we come the time to lie. As a branch just had to be broken, I can guess where you will hide. I'm a playing in this ride.